Story of hearts, where the science of love gets its spark. Two voices laughing in the dark. Unwrap the truth, the highs, the lows. How love works, nobody knows. Unwrap love, take a chance, feel the rhythm, join the dance. Two hearts, one mic, here we go. Unwrap love, let it show. Unwrap love, let it show. From brain waves to butterflies, the chemistry under starry skies. Why we laugh, why we cry. Unravel the mystery, the push, the pull. Unwrap the world with love rules. Unwrap love, take a chance, feel the rhythm, join the dance. Two hearts, one mic, here we go. Unwrap love, let it show. Unwrap love, let it show. Unwrap love, let it show.
Way around. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unwrap Love. We already got some love happening in our comments here. Yes, we do. So,
Sound very
so
here. I think my sound is down.
hold on. Oh, try it
You're-
now.
Yes, that's better.
I had it on mute.
I can hear you.
I had it on mute, so that's why. So yes, just it's like it'll help. It's going to help me get some dates. We're going to help you get dates. Yes, we are. Is there supposed to be music during the video, or am I the only one with the sound issues? I don't know.
Did anyone else hear the music? Because I heard it.
Maybe it was me.
I
Just
don't
me.
know.
I don't know.
heard it.
And Leslie's like, hello, lovebirds. Okay.
Hi, Leslie.
Today we're launching our 8-week series on modern love problems, right? And we decided to pick a subject that usually
fun one.
a fun one. It's usually one that we when you start the process of dating now, it is inevitable that you're going to have to do this. Sorry, this is just how communication is done these days. And
But I've heard some people don't have phones.
well, I don't know how active I don't know how active their dating life is, but yes, we're going to be talking about texting anxiety. This is one where we have both experienced this ourselves when we got into the process of dating and learning how it was to matching. Yes, we are matching. Maybe that was that intentional.
I don't know. I got dressed in the other room. I didn't see her.
Yes. So glad I'm napped. So you can stay up. Yes. So we got some few people. Jeanette. It's been a while. Long while. Okay. All right. Texting anxiety.
Let's look at the polls to see what the audience had to say about
the texting. Yes. So we put a poll up. I put a poll up every week on Monday. So we look at the results. Here's what most of the people out of the individuals that voted said was the biggest issue. So here we go. Our poll here said, what's your biggest texting anxiety? The responses were waiting for a reply. Did I say too much? Left on red and lost in translation. And as you can see, the biggest response was lost in translation. That's a big one. I think that in how we communicate as individuals.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's so many misunderstandings when it comes to tone?
Well, I think a lot of it is because if you're somebody who's, say, visual, that part of it and how a person's facial expressions, that sort of thing, doesn't quite come across. You don't hear a tone, you don't hear a voice. You just looking at, text, at words. And sometimes, hey, if you're a poetic writer, yes, you're able to communicate that very easily, but some of us struggle.
Have you heard of the 7-38-55 rule?
No. So tell me a little bit more about did I say oh God. Uh no, I have not, but open up a little bit.
Okay.
Explain that to me.
So this is something that, because this question has come across a lot. Like I'm also a teacher. I teach sociology and psychology. And that's one of the things, like, I show them pictures of, people texting and what has changed in our society when it comes to communication, and, how easy it is it to communicate through text versus face to face. How, I ask just a lot of questions. But one of the things that I do make sure that I explain is the 7-38-55 rule. So this was something that was created. It was written in a book. The guy's name, he was a psychologist, Albert Mehrabian, written in 1967, before cell phones. But I think it's really relevant when it comes to how you communicate, face to face with a person. So basically, what he said is when you're talking to somebody, 7% of what you say kind of gets clearly communicated to them, the words.
Mm.
But it's more than just words when you're communicating to somebody. It's not just the words that you say, it's your tone of voice. So 38% is the tone that you carry when you're talking to somebody. So kids pick this up so naturally and easily. Like, Mom, why are you mad at me? Like, they can clearly tell the tone when you switch a tone on them, and will point that out because that it says more than what you're saying to them. So your tone of voice matters when you're talking face to face to somebody. And then 55%, so a bigger chunk of that is your body language. So it's your facial expressions. You could say, "Oh yeah, I'm happy today. Super happy." But the way that your face looks, the expressions that you make, your body language, how you're positioning your hands, your arms, that matters. So when you take the tone away and you take the body language away, all you're left with is that 7% that's getting communicated to somebody. And that doesn't always go across completely the way you intend it to go.
Right. Um, yes, and some of our lovely ladies, they're carrying on a conversation in the
Hmm.
chat, but I love what they're saying. So, of course, Jackie's saying, "Me too. I share too much. Men can't always handle a bunch of words." Uh, and then,
Depends on the man.
and yeah, Joe said yes. By the end of the text, they know my diagnosis, amount of dead calls. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Yes, yeah,
She's a funny one.
yes, she is. Phenomenal. Yes, not reading back before. Right. Autocorrect is not. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but again, the way that the way that especially me, I'm a visual person. I pick up a lot on somebody's idiosyncrasies, the way they look, or the way they talk, and even in phone conversations because I've been doing this for so long. I pick up audio tones. I pick up somebody when they're dropping sarcasm, when they're not. It, but that's a trained individual. That's somebody who's gone through and had, 10,000 hours of doing
Are you
this.
talking about when you hear them with your ears
Yeah.
or you read their words?
When I hear them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So when I hear them, when I see them,
Mhm.
I'm able to pick up on more.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
that's not, just like what you said, it is the tone of voice of how people communicate. You can pick up a lot on.
Mhm.
There's times that I read somebody's words though, and I hit a wall because I can't, you know, interpret what they're trying to say or communicate. And I'm somebody that's a communicator. I said I've done this, for the last 8 years, and I've had numerous conversations. I've done video conference. I've done
So, have you ever lost interest in someone because of the way that they text?
yes, honestly, yes, uh,
Mhm.
because I'm also somebody that. So when you say something, right? I'm going to use this as example. Okay, right?
Or no, no, no. It's better. It's just K.
Well, exactly. I'm somebody that appreciates the other three letters that becomes after the O, right? So if you say O-K-A-Y, nice. There's some people that just go with the OK. Perfectly fine. Then there's the people that just go
It's
with
saving time just to type the K.
just to type the K. But if I wanted to get to communicate with somebody, I want to know the depths of how they verbalize things. Um, I think that's a big part for me.
So you think like when you were dating and you were coming across messages, and I know I had a similar experience. You know, you come across messages and you're trying to communicate, and you might ask a question, but they come back with just like one or two word answers, and then they don't know how to add on to that to carry a conversation. Because, like you said, like today, texting is a huge part of even dating, because going through those dating apps, you do a lot of texting back and
Oh
forth, just
gosh.
getting to know a person. And
Yes.
so if they are not skilled on how to send messages and communicate, through texting, then it becomes a bigger challenge, and probably turn away from some people. So what were some of the conversations like when you were dating?
So a lot of the times it started out pretty general, but I'm somebody who's been a writer. So I am not somebody who appreciated the short form. I was somebody who would rather take the time to write out what I wanted to say. Um, and sometimes, yeah, it was detrimental because I would write something out and was kind of hoping for a wordy response. And it was sometimes, 2 words. It was a picture, might have been a meme. And I was like, ugh, okay. I mean, because here's the thing about it. Okay. Here's the way that I looked at it too. If you couldn't communicate with me directly the way that you are texting, how are you going to communicate when you're sitting across from that person if you ever decide to meet them person to person? Like, if you're going to be sitting there talking with them, you don't have those tools at your disposal. You don't have the short answer, the short letters. You don't have the memes. You don't have all the other things. It is you and that other person one on one and having a true, genuine conversation. And if that's how the conversation is going to flow, count me out. I'm checking out. I'm gone.
Well, I think today too, with the well, first we have our friends that we turn to sometimes for advice in the texting world, like what should I say? But now we have AI. So do you think like in some conversations that you're having with people today, they're just like, okay, I don't know how to respond to this in a lengthy way. Let me just ask AI for some help on how to text back.
So here's the
And then
thing.
you meet them in face to face in person, and they can't come up with,
Exactly. That's what I
the
was fixing to
line
say.
fast enough.
If you don't know how to eloquently elaborate on something with your own mind, your own thoughts, your own creativity, AI isn't going to help it. It's going to amplify it. It's going to make it come out so that if you write a response that's very lengthy and wordy, and then the moment you talk to them and they're short answered, um, they're strained on their communication and vocabulary and how they respond, then yes, it's gonna be hard sledding, and you're gonna realize it, and you're gonna know. Uh, if you're a good writer, if you're somebody that knows how to communicate, AI will help uh, bring that out. It helps it draw it out, and it's the same. It's the same in reverse. If you're not that person in real life, then yeah, you're not. It's not gonna help you because there's gonna become a point where you're gonna have to be authentic, and that's the thing. Hello, father-in-law, watching all the way live. Um, that's right. Look at Kenny. He is giving back. He is giving back. But no, in all honesty, when you're texting with somebody, I think the best approach is to come real, come as who you are. And, again, I don't I don't want to say a slight towards the younger generation, but I think that's also how they've learned to communicate.
Well, have you oh, of course, the younger generation, that's what they do. So sometimes they do feel more awkward in person because they're so used to communicating through text. But have you ever done this? And I know this is super common because I see a lot of people do it online, and I know I'm guilty of doing it too. Um, but did you ever like get a message, but you weren't sure exactly how to respond to it? Maybe like you didn't understand where it was coming across, so you screenshot it and then you ask for help from like a friend or a family member. I'm like, what do you think this means? Do you ever
I
do
I
that?
I so I don't ever think I sent the actual message like that,
Uh,
but I would verbalize it with somebody
mm-hmm.
to get a little bit of maybe thought or clarity of perspective. Um, but no, I don't ever think I've ever said, "Here, let me show you a screenshot of our conversation, and you tell me what to think or how to respond back." Have you ever done
Oh yeah, I have. And I'll
that?
tell you why. Okay, so
Oh Lord.
I did it because sometimes I don't think I was talking to the right person for me, like my match. And I think I would get nervous sometimes talking to different people in the past. And I wasn't sure, like, sometimes they'd say something that, and I just didn't know how to respond. And I think just lack of maybe just the skills in communicating in general with like, in a relationship, especially because I had been in a relationship for a real long time and we had problems in communication. So sometimes I would get stuck. So I used to rely on one of my best friends. So I would screenshot stuff, send it to her, and then she would help me type out messages. And she would do this like over and over sometimes. But of course, she wasn't there with me in person. So sometimes, yeah, it was awkward when we were having conversations because we couldn't keep a conversation going sometimes. And there would be dead air and silence. But I've seen a lot of people do that online too. And I'll say, Gabe is the first person I never did that with, like ever. It's just, our conversations just flowed so naturally and so easily. Like, I never had to turn to my friend and say, hey, he said this. What do you think I should say? Never did that one single time, with Gabe, and I think that's when I really realized this was somebody that I just connected to, and so I think when people have that problem where they can't figure out, like, how do I talk to this person or communicate with them? It may not just be that you don't know how to say certain things through text messaging communication-wise, but it's just not a person that you can connect to and vibe with, and so you don't know what to say, and that's probably should be a red flag that this is not the person I need to spend the rest of my life with, because if I can't figure it out now, like, it's probably not gonna work out in the
Well,
future.
it was funny that I dated somebody who it was like reverse of that. Um, our conversations were arduous and very difficult, and texting felt like a more natural flow. Then that's how I knew, though. I was like, I'm not with the right person.
So texting was good, but not in person?
Not, yeah, no, yeah. Like it's like they knew how to communicate.
That's what I'm saying,
Uh, uh,
they probably got help.
yeah, maybe they did. Maybe they did. They
It might not have been AI, it could have been a
It could
friend.
have been a friend, but they
Yeah.
got help in how they communicated it. And
Mhm.
then in person, it was like, um, one word answers or very disinteresting in how they responded back. And it was like, okay, it seems like it's a different person when I'm sitting across from them as opposed to when we're both probably laying in bed and texting back and forth with each other.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because
that's
it
just one of,
probably is a different person.
right. And, one of the things too was just, even in those moments of where they might have reached out to somebody was also waiting for the response because that also gave me um especially when it was something that I knew that was we were both like in the moment back and forth and then all of a sudden it crickets.
They were asking for help.
They, well,
They were phoning a friend.
phoning, yeah, right. This is like, it was almost like who wants to be a millionaire, right? Hey, let me phone a friend and get an answer and then I'll get back to you.
So that's like another question. Why do you think people leave them on red? Like, is it that they're going and getting help for how to respond, or is it because they're not interested? Is that why they leave you on red for so long? And when is it acceptable not to reply to somebody right away?
Right. That is a hard one. Because, so here's the thing. I'm going to tell you from two different perspectives. Number one, when you're doing it through the dating apps, because if you're not a paid person, whatever, they would make you wait. So you better get used to it. If you were using a free service, especially if you were a guy, you could wait days for a reply. Okay. Now it was different once you were directly texting the other person on the other end. You got their number and you were communicating. That's a whole different story. But as far as like if you're going through the dating apps, yeah, it was terrible waiting. And you're like, okay, maybe they're just not interested. And sometimes I would force me to say, I'm just moving on because it doesn't seem like it's getting any traction. I'm just going to keep moving on to see if there's somebody else that would be more interesting that I could find a match with.
Did you ever get anxiety when you were waiting for them to reply?
No, I didn't get anxiety, and I'll tell you why.
Well, what about like if you're talking to a person already? Like you were already forming that relationship and everything's going great and then
Okay,
they don't
again,
reply right
for
away.
me, no, because it was different for me. Um, I was doing interviews and stuff like that, and I had a large community at the time. So at any one point, I
Mhm.
had something to occupy my time with. There was somebody there I could always communicate with. I could always reach out to somebody. There was always something to fill that void. So it wasn't like me like, ah,
What about with me?
no, you were instantaneous. It was like fast. Like
When I responded?
yeah, it happened, and then
It's not like that anymore though.
what's that?
I don't respond always like really fast.
No, because well, his circumstances. You're a teacher. You can't do it.
Yeah.
But that come with the understanding, though, right?
Mhm.
I am not somebody who's. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the live stream. I'm not somebody to sit there waiting anticipatory to go. When is she going to respond back? Um, because I know she's busy, and I think that would take that approach to anybody. The only time that we were really like in the throw of everything is in the beginning because we wanted each other's time. Like, fuck the
Mhm.
job. I was like in the middle of like I could be doing something and I'm texting you right back.
I know, and he did something that other people didn't ever do, like, as if he didn't reply, like, immediately, and even if, like, sometimes it'd just be, like, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something, it wasn't, like, a huge amount of time. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't text right back. I was like, I had to do X, Y, and Z," and I was like, "Well, you don't have to give me a play-by-play." I'm like, "I'm okay. You don't have to tell me, like, I'm not worried," but it was almost like he just wanted me to be sure, like, assured that he was really into me. So I thought it was cool that he was saying it, but it wasn't something that I expected him to say.
Yes. And to be honest, that was when you're I feel like when you're really interested in somebody, um all these protocols and everything that we're talking about, all this etiquette that we're talking about goes out the window because you want that person's time and you find time, you make time. Um
Yeah, and I think especially in the beginning because if it's not if a person is not responding right away like on the apps, you move on. You know,
it's
if
a
if
it,
if somebody doesn't respond for a whole day, it's like, okay, I guess they're not interested. Or sometimes like I would have guys not talk to me for about a week or two and then all of a sudden send me a message and I'm like, "Why did you wait so long?" And sometimes they had just weird excuses or whatever, but yeah, some of them did wait like a really insane amount of time before they would communicate back. And so you knew if somebody was going back and forth with you that they truly were interested. That
Yeah. And but it comes again to things like you're already going that direction, but it was things about when you're texting with somebody, you have a if you set a boundary with certain things and you're very straightforward in the beginning, um, I don't think somebody should worry. Like if you're very again honest about, hey, listen, I can't communicate between these hours. Like I was talking to somebody, I started talking to somebody, and they were honest with me. It's like, look, I try to focus my attention on my kids when I get home. I think you're really great, and I can text you during these hours. But I have kids, and of course, you think in your head, hey, red flag. Maybe she's got a husband. Maybe they're still married. Uh, but you also, unless they give you reason to say, okay, I don't trust this. Then I was like, okay, I can actually deal with that. I can deal with somebody having a boundary and saying, I don't want to text past 9 o'clock. I go to bed at 9 o'clock, right? We got people here that like Nicole and Jackie who are like, I go to bed at 8:45, right? So they're not going to be like, hey, text me at this hour. They're not going to reply. You shouldn't be offended.
Mm-mm.
That's their boundary. That's where they put the line in the sand and say, okay, I don't go past this time. I will respond back to you whenever I get a chance.
Yeah, and I think that that is important to, especially if you have those boundaries, to set that up initially, because otherwise you get questioned. Like, why aren't you responding fast enough? Or how come you didn't respond during this time like you normally do? And then, sometimes people will push that if you don't explain the boundary in the beginning, and let them know
Right.
that.
So Jackie's like, honestly, seems like such a simple concept when you're trying to get to know someone, but alas, some people have so much trouble being truthful.
Oh, very true. Very true.
Very true, right? Texting is way easier to lie.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Um, I have meditation, writing. Like, yep. No, just as a, no, but that, hey, look, but that's your boundary. Nobody says you
Mhm.
should have. No one says you should have an asterisk next to your boundary of how you approach your lifestyle.
Yeah, so true or false, if someone really likes you, they will always respond quickly.
Hmm.
If they really like you,
Is
they'll
that
respond
true or
quickly.
false, folks? Will they respond quickly?
If someone really likes you, they always respond quickly if they really like you. Like a lot.
If you like it, like I know Kenneth would. Like if I text Kenneth, he would text me right back. He'd be like, "Hey," and then "Hey."
Well, I know I had set up my own personal boundary um, on Hinge when I was dating, because I had previously dated somebody, like it was like probably 8 months before that, who was pushing, like, I didn't have a lot of clear boundaries set up or explained to him, but he was literally like pushing everything. So for example, like one of the times he had texted me, it was because I'm a teacher, I'm off during the summer. So he had texted me over the summer after my break started, and I didn't reply right away because I was watching a movie with my mom. So all of a sudden, like, when the movie's done, I replied back and he's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, what? He goes, well, you're off school, right? You're out of school right now. It's your break. Like, why didn't you text me back?
Oh,
And I said, I am texting you right now. And he's like, but you didn't text me back when I texted you. Like, you waited over an hour. And I said, well, I'm so sorry. I was watching a movie with my mom. So he was tripping because I didn't text him fast enough because he knew that I was not at work. So before I could say, well, I'm working right now, I can't text you back like right away. I'm teaching a class. Well, when I wasn't teaching the class, then all of a sudden he thought that I had to be at his beck and call every single time he texted me. And so then I was just so angry that the next day, when he texted me, I would text back like within a second. I mean, as soon as it was buzzing, like I grabbed my phone and I immediately texted him. And I didn't realize what I was doing, but he was really like manipulating me. And I didn't realize that. I just thought like, let me show him. I will text him back so fast. And so then what really irked me was after I had done that for the day, then he had the nerve to text me, you're not initiating enough conversations with me today.
oh, man,
I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
that's
Nope.
that's the big red
Never
flag.
again. I
So
ended it.
that's right. That's a red flag right there. Speaking of red flags, let's jump into our favorite Friday game, guys. Let's get ready for red flag, green flag.
Yes.
Red flag, green flag, what will you snag? Hey, twist it, flip it, unwrap the flag. Red means whoa, green means go. Unwrap the flag, let's play the game.
All right. Yeah. Here we are for everyone's favorite game show. That's right. This is Unwrap the Flag. So we're going to pull up a few prompts. This is how it goes. And you guys will tell us in the comments whether or not you think it's a red flag or a green flag. Okay. And it is based on, of course, our texting anxiety. So here we go with prompt number 1. Here we go. The first one is, well, come on. If you want to work with me, don't work with me. It does not want to work with me. There we go. Okay. First one, your partner reads your text, but doesn't reply for 2 hours. Is that a red flag or is that a green flag, y'all? So if your partner leaves you on red, read your text, right? But doesn't reply for 2 hours. Do you think that's a red flag or a green flag? What do you think?
I think it just depends on if you have like that face to face conversation about it. Like, I don't know. If they took the I know it's kind of torn between both because if they took the time to read it, like all they had to do was like they could heart it at least. Like at least heart it so that it's acknowledged cuz like it can leave an uneasy feeling, especially with depending on what the message is too.
Right. So like
Like
Jackie
if it's
saying,
I need to talk to
I
you
could
right
meet you there if you're super busy. Yeah.
now.
Right. Joe saying I don't care, green. I do it too. Hey, we got our purple, of course. Yolanda over on YouTube saying purple. So people do have lives.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So I think that's a pretty whelming one. It's kind of on the fence.
I am.
So I do get that one. All right, let's go to our next one.
You send a message, no reply for 20 minutes. So
So
that's kind of similar to the other one.
yeah, it was.
Okay, do another one.
Do another one. Hold on, let me pull my other ones up. I like going to the screen because I can see them all a lot more. Plus, I can see the responses. Okay, let's go to our next one, which is, come on, work with me, not against me. Okay, here we go.
Instead of texting back, they send a 2-minute voice
Voicemail.
message.
So they text you, right? And then you get a 2-minute voice message back. So is that a red flag or a green flag? How do
You used to do that to me.
well, is that a red flag or a green flag? Because here's my explanation for it, right? On my end, I was like, I would be doing something with my hands right away, so it would be easier to just hit, "Hey Siri, call," or say, "Hey Siri, send message real quick," or call and say, leave a voicemail, whatever it was, so that I could get the message conveyed that, "Hey, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'm just, um, I'm tied up at the moment." Um, so, and it'd be what? Oh my god, voice messages. Kenny said he would love a 2-minute voice message. So maybe that's what we need to do. We need to call, and that could be either way. It could be a green. It's nice to get a message, but it wouldn't. It's not a weird red flag.
Yeah, if it's weird, it's a red flag. Or if it's a bad
It's
message.
a bad message. It might be a little bit different. Okay, let's move on to our next one here. So you send a short message. They respond with a 5-paragraph message explaining their feelings. What?
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of my mom.
So what would you feel about that if
But every paragraph is a different text.
right? So if you send a short text like let's just say you text them and say, "Hey, I want to go to dinner, but I don't like the place we went to last time," and then they give you like a 3-paragraph thing of why they chose that place last time, why they felt the way they had to do it, why maybe we should go. Like if they're going into elongated detail, I don't know. I think that's just. I mean.
I don't know. I think I would save it for like in person if you have that much to say.
And this is one too that Jackie mentions. I can't always listen to voice messages with so many meetings and people around me all the time. So they usually get a delayed response with a voice
Yeah.
message.
True.
True that. And then Jill said, "I'm too busy breathing." solve my problems. Um, and she's saying she's very neurodivergent, nerdy, you know. But again, I think too, though, uh, depending on how that person usually communicates, if you know that that's just the way they are, then you could probably be okay with saying, okay, this is how they usually communicate back.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if it always needs like a 5 paragraph response. Like I don't need a thesis on like what whatever you're telling me back, but I don't mind somebody expressing out how they feel. Um, but hey, look, yeah, I think for me it'd be a red flag if somebody's constantly doing that though. If that's like their constant thing about how they reach out to you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just for me, that's a personal thing. That's a what I would say is a red flag. So we had a few people. Okay, let's see. What's our next one? Oh no, I already pulled that one up. No, wrong one. Oh, how about this one? You see the typing bubble appear and disappear 5 times, then no message. How many of you
Oh,
haven't?
I've seen that before.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
I
okay.
we used to, so I used to have a friend, or well, he's still a friend, but um, whenever I would text this individual, I think he would after a while he kind of did it on purpose. Like you would respond, like you send him a text, and you see the bubbles like popping up, and then you see it disappear, then it pop up, then it disappear, and then you're like waiting. It's like, man, what is he typing out? Like, what is he putting? Don't tell me he's doing a 5 paragraph thing for ask him if he wants to come on with me to live tonight. Like, that was the thing. And then I would nothing. No, crickets. Um, how they feel about the stock market. Green flag. There you go. Yeah, some people are very expressive. Some are. I'm not saying again. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just somebody who's like again. If
I think she was talking about the paragraph one.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for me it was a red flag because I feel like if I have something that long to say to somebody, I want to feel like I want to be there in that moment and tell them exactly how I feel. Like I don't want to express it in a like I had somebody broke up with me, and when they broke up with me, they were gonna send me this really long text, and I just called and I said, I don't want to hear it. I don't need it three. Talk to me person to person. Just tell me the truth. I can handle it. I'm okay. And then we had the conversation, and it was done. And I have more respect for that. I have more respect that instead of me getting again the elongated, you know, your text is so long that it has to come in 3 threads because you ran out of space. Like, I'm that again, that was to me too much. But this one here, yeah, I mean
I
it
don't know, because I think if you accidentally, and I've done it before, like I'll be on the phone and then I accidentally click on a message, and then my somehow I guess I touch the little box where you start to type, and it can make the bubbles pop up on someone else's screen. And I've butt dialed kinda doing that before too, and it's just, like, sitting there, and so probably somebody thought I was trying to text them, and then I see it, and then I erase whatever accidentally got put in there, but nothing ever got sent, and then I close the message. So, I've done that. I've been guilty of kind of doing that before, but I wasn't trying to send a message, it was just an accident.
just an accident.
So,
I think
could be
sometimes
an
too.
accident.
So, but in context though, when you're having a back and forth
Mhm.
conversation, and then and you see that happen, like, of course you're gonna get worried, like, what's going on? I mean,
Yeah.
we were just texting, and now
Mhm.
I see that popping up. And yes, we are talking about you, Kenneth. You are guilty of that, of leaving us with the bubble, wondering, like, is he responding? Is he not responding? Like, does he want me to savor the flavor? He doesn't want. I don't know. Like, I'm just waiting for him to tell me to savor the flavor. If not, then I'll move forward. So
What's the next one?
I got one more. Um, let me see. cover this one up. Is this the right one? I don't know. I'm lost in my own.
I wish the words on that were bigger so you could tell.
I know. I can't find it. Let's see that one.
No, we skipped over that one.
We
Wait.
haven't done. This is the other one. So they were.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is a new one. So they respond to every text within 30 seconds, no matter what. So that's what I did that one day.
Yes. So do you have somebody who? Because I've done this too, and
He's actually pretty quick at it. If I send him a message, I don't have to wait very long. Like, he's really fast at text. I'm slower
and I've
at
been
it, but he's
accused. I've been
faster.
accused by like I was talking to somebody, and I was accused of, like, you saying, when you do that, you're making yourself too emotionally available for somebody.
Whatever.
But I said
They told you to wait how many hours?
they would say, hey, just wait about 5 minutes before you respond back, and I was like, but I'm right here.
Yeah,
Why would I wait if I'm right here?
if you're available.
If I'm available, to me, leave me alone. Well, I don't mean in the form of maybe pestering, but again, if I'm right there and I'm somebody who can respond back and I want to respond back, then I see no problem with it. And the thing is, if I'm interested in somebody, if I want to talk to somebody, isn't that what you want? Is somebody who's going to be emotionally available for you?
Mhm.
Or do you think you have to put up this boundary or this precedent that, no, it would be too much. I'm giving too much away from my power if I do that. I don't think so.
I know I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, so you're like just said, it's a horror movie.
Yes, it
You
stresses
said
me
you
out.
said this is a horror movie.
Sometimes I
Leave me
just
alone.
don't. I don't
Leave me
even.
alone.
Most of the time, my phone is off and like it doesn't even vibrate because that annoys me. And I look at it whenever I have a chance, whenever I feel like it. But I'm not like locked in or chained to my phone at all. So yeah.
So Kenneth is saying that's a problem. I have a life to live. She's like, no, it sounds the same as bed bugs. Like, I don't want it. No way. So again, to me, so again, this is a personal. This is not a right or wrong thing.
No.
Like, somebody would probably enjoy 5 paragraphs of text coming back to somebody. I'm out. I don't. Again, I would rather speak that and convey that to somebody personal. They can be emotionally on a schedule. Hey, again, that could be that's how some people enjoy to communicate back and forth to another person. So
So
there
I
you go.
have a question about double texting. Do you think that's needy or normal?
Ooh,
Do you know what double texting is?
yes. So it's
When-
in terms of when you text somebody, they haven't responded back, and then you send them another message. It's pretty much the same. 30 minutes later, it's like, hey, I haven't heard back from you. Did you read my message the first time? Like, yeah.
Or they add on to what they were saying.
Exactly, right. This is like the plus, and then they add whatever. Is that? I don't know.
Is that someone being confident or desperate?
I don't know. I don't know. That's that. Well, again, in terms of how it's communicated with somebody, um, especially when you're somebody in a situation like somebody's a high risk person. Okay, I don't mind doing that. I think that's a safety protocol. Yeah, you could do that. But in terms of what dating and talking back to somebody or just having a normal relationship with an individual, like, no. I don't want to, again. Yeah, stalker. That's stalker vibe. Exactly. Just that is a stalker life. And yes,
All right. So I think some people need to understand what the norms are for texting. Like, say what you need to say in one clear message. So I don't know if my mom's listening or will listen to this, but this is something I
Impatient.
love my mom
Jennifer says
so
impatient.
much. Oh my gosh. Yes. Hey, Jennifer. She knows my mom.
Uh,
Okay. So my mom, and she's my mom, so it's different than being in a relationship with someone and them doing it to you. But my mom will send a message and then another and then another and then another, and sometimes like 15 to 20 back to back. And I've tried to explain these norms to her, and I'm like, Mom, you're texting too many times. Like, say what you need to say in one clear message, and then I can respond to you like as soon as I have a chance to. I've been trying to teach my mom this skill. I even like she sent it to a whole group of us. Like I think there was 15 of us in a group, and I told her the same thing in the group. But it's like, goes right over, and she just doesn't understand that yeah, you don't that should be like a texting norm.
yeah, and I agree with like what I was just saying about the emergency thing, but Jackie uses it in this instance. It's okay if there's a time limit needed in a response. Like, hey, do I need to book these tickets or not? They still
Yeah.
an hour. Otherwise, hell no. Exactly. And just it's like I don't do norms because I'm not normal. I am on the awesomeness spectrum. Exactly. That's okay. But
My mom doesn't either.
but yeah, again, I don't. I think if you get if you're in the mindset of look, I gotta learn to be patient because here's the thing. I know that all of us have probably experienced this once or twice in our lifetime of having cell phones. Not in our lifetime, but in a lifetime of us having cell phones. An instant where you forget your phone at home or you leave it somewhere and nobody has like instant connection to you. Like it's almost like you're off the grid. So like when you leave your phone at home or when your phone dies, there's an eerie calmness that goes like, okay, fuck it. I'm not available.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like you lift this burden off yourself of saying, well, if they come at me later or they say, hey, I texted you like 3 times, how come you didn't text back? You will be like, I left my phone at home. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. Or my phone died. Oh, okay. Like there is this freedom that comes with saying, I'm not readily available.
I
Like
know. Sometimes I wish that we could go back to the times where you could just go somewhere and get lost or go anywhere, and you didn't have to be strapped to something there, or somebody could always find you. Like I don't sometimes you just don't want to be found.
like that's
Like
it.
you
Like
want to enjoy moments without having to respond to message after message after message.
I literally had to tell one of my ex-employers, um, they had texted me one evening and I didn't respond back. I saw the text, but I went in next day and he was very angry with me. He's very upset. And he said, hey, I texted you. I needed you to respond. You didn't respond. And I literally told him, wait a minute. This is my phone. This is my boundary. I pay my bill. I am not on your clock. I am on mine. I respond to you when I feel like I'm ready to. And even if I'm on the clock, nothing in my employment said you have instant access to me whenever you want it. So, no, I'm not going to reply back. I shit you not. The next day, he came back with the cell phone and said, this is a company phone we're going to give you, and we're going to pay you $100 to pay your cell phone bill. And I was like, okay, but I'm just going to tell you again, these are my boundaries.
Mhm.
Like, just because you're wanting me to have this, you know, I think a lot of this happened, especially during COVID. People felt comfortable like reaching out to anybody at any time because they thought, hey, it's COVID. Everybody's at home. I know everybody's at home. I can just text them or I can just call them. I have instant access to them. And
Do you
so
think calling shows more effort?
I think it does because people have this now tendency to think that texting almost I equate texting sometimes to being drunk. It takes away the inhibitions of how you communicate with somebody. It's harder to say something difficult face to face to somebody
Why do
than
you think so many people hate, like, choose the texting and hate the phone calls?
because they want that barrier between them. They don't like the idea of having a reaction or a judgment come back as a response. Because here's the
You think
thing.
it's just them being lazy?
No, I think some people like to have the idea of the avoidance of not having to have a response to it. Like literally, somebody can say, "I'm going to send this text. I know I'm probably going to get a bad response, but I'm going to turn my phone off, or I'm going to turn my phone down, or I'm going to turn my vibration off, and I'll read it when I'm ready." So it's like it's almost like a posting ghost. It's like I'm going to just leave it here. I'm going to clip it on the clipboard, let them read it, and then I'll come back to reply later
Do you
on.
think there's, like, an average number of how many times a couple should text each other during the day?
Mm, no, I think. And I think as long as
What's too little or too much?
well, I think at least once minimum is good because you are responding and or you're sending a message and you're telling them something, you're conveying something. But
I know one
in all honesty, I'm not waiting for a response from you.
Mhm.
If anything, I'm going to initiate because that's just who I am. That is my personality. If I know your personality is not to do that, why am I building an expectation waiting for you to say, "Well, she just doesn't care. She's not texting me. I don't hear anything." I don't discount that as a strike against you or us in our relationship. It's just me saying, "That's her. She'll get around to me when she's ready to." Like if
Yeah, when we're home together, we never text at all,
no,
period, because 'cause we're in the same house or we're spending time together. The only time we do is when we're
is
at
the
work.
house on fire? Calls are stressful. Yes, and I need to go.
Yeah.
But
I
again,
know sometimes, like, depending on who you're talking to, you could just be sitting there going, "Yeah, okay, all right," and then you have to figure out, like, "I'll just call you back later." Like, I don't know how many times I've said, "I'll call you later," but of course you never
you
do,
never do.
but that's just a way to end the phone call. "I'll talk to you
I'll
later."
talk to you later. Yeah, I'll holler at you.
Later.
Do you feel like automated response texting less matters?
I
So
know some people I
so
don't know if you've ever done it, but I know my brother has, like, set up automatic
so I did
responses. You did?
not with you, but so here's the story. I was dating 3 women at the same time. Um, I would set up an automated morning text to each one of them with a personalized message, and then I varied the times so that it wouldn't seem like I was automatic. Like it's every morning at 7:30 he texts me. It was like I've set it to 5 minutes early, 5 minutes late, whatever. But I did do it. But then I also understood that look, I still have to communicate and I have to be involved in these conversations. I didn't mind doing it because it was one of those things like times I I wanted to convey a message, but I just didn't have the time, so I used the technology that I had available on my phone to do it. But I don't think it discounts it any less if you're like all the messages that I sent to him, I thought them out and I wrote all of them. So they were all, thoughtful. Oh my God.
I know, thank goodness he never did
No,
that to me.
no, no.
I thought he was trying to save time because he was dating 3 women at the
I
same
was trying to date 3 women at the same time. I was doing too much. Okay, let's put it that way. I was doing too much. Um, when I got him, that's why. Look, that's why I said meeting Melissa was a good thing because it brought clarity in how I should communicate. Like it centered how I should do things. Like it funneled everything into the energy of to the right people that I wanted to.
Okay, I wanna ask, one more question before we try to do this little thing. It's
Okay.
like this skit thing that I want to do.
Okay.
Try it out and see how it works. Okay, so when do you think texting someone else becomes emotional cheating?
So when it becomes emotional cheating, when you start sharing intimate details about your life with this other person that should be communicated first with your partner, right? So
Mm.
if you've come to terms of saying, so if you've said something to somebody and you've run it by them, right? If you said something and you didn't get a response, or it's led to argument, or they closed off, or they shut down, then okay, if you reached out to somebody, that's one thing. But if it's just like I'm airing out all my dirty laundry with another person and I haven't talked down or tried to get this communicated with my partner, then yeah, I think you're crossing a boundary. You're
Yeah.
crossing something that you need to look at the terms of your relationship, of how you again allow that person in your life, what that level of trust is like. And if you value that trust, if you value the trust, you talk about it. You do the hard thing. You have the hard conversation.
I think too, if you spend more time texting another person more, and you spend more time texting them than you do texting your significant other, I think that can kind of lead you into the emotional cheating. You spend a lot more time texting them.
Yeah, people are so insecure. If they cheat, they're lost. You eventually find out. Just kick them out.
Okay, so I want to try this skit. Let's see. He doesn't know anything about it, so
We're gonna
I'm
try
gonna
something. We're on the fly this time.
so I'm gonna be person A.
Okay.
Okay. And then you'll be person B.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sending a text. So we're not really here. We're in other houses. So imagine us being in another house. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm sending a text message. I'm sending a message to him and I'm saying, can we talk about something that bothered me? And then he
I
texts me back.
and I say, sure. I text back, sure.
And so this is what,
Oh,
and so behind the scenes, then you say
oh,
this.
reality. Oh, what do I do now?
No.
Uh,
What did I
oh,
what did I do now?
oh,
Okay, do you get it?
no.
Okay, so let's reverse it. Okay, so you text me.
Okay, I'm texting you. Texting you.
Okay, so he's
Hey, can we
texting,
talk about something that's bothered me?
and then I send back, sure, period. And then behind the scenes, what did I do now?
Oh, okay.
So
Eh,
the answers don't always match up to what is
Oh,
going
okay,
on.
okay,
Does that make
okay. I see what
sense?
you're doing.
Okay. All right. So
Okay. So now I'm texting,
mhm.
but I don't know if I should send it. I delete it. I don't like what I wrote. Texting again. No, it doesn't sound good. I text it back. I go back and delete everything. Then I just type okay and send.
What the hell was that? I wonder what he was trying to say to me.
That's for the 5. So
In
in
reality.
reality, I was writing the 5 paragraph and I said, no, I can't. I don't know if I want to say this. Let me just send okay because it's a safe answer. Right. Okay.
Okay, so you
Now,
be
now it's
person
my
A
turn. I'm person A.
and you're typing.
I'm typing. Sounds good. Send.
Sounds good. What? I gotta show this to my friends. Hey, what do you think?
He's mad. No,
Friend two, what do you think?
no, he's bored.
Friend three, what do you think?
Oh my God. No, he's cheating.
Ah, I knew it. So the power of showing your message to other people.
Well, we're I'm feeling stressed for myself. No, don't feel stressed. Don't feel stressed. I don't want you to feel stressed.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll be person A.
Okay.
I'm texting you right now. I'm going to text my man good night with a little heart emoji. Send.
And I see it. Oh, that's nice. It's in a heart. Cool. Night. Just send her night. Nothing else.
What? He didn't even put a heart next to night? He doesn't love me.
And I spelled night N-I-T-E. So,
All right. So I'm texting you. I had such a great time tonight and I'm really starting to like you. Send.
oh my gosh, look at this. Let me read this. Hold on. She really likes me. Like she's really starting to like me. Man, that's cool. Cool. Send it. Text.
Cool. Oh my God. Does he like me or does he not like me? I don't know.
So
That was the dry text.
that was the dry text there. So I wonder how many automated texts I received and not suspected. Right. So if you've ever messaged each other on LinkedIn, you know the automated message will send you sounds good, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Just the easy things. Like I see those all the time. And when somebody sends me one of those back, I'm like, okay. And especially when it's a return and it's fast. That tells me the automated bubble showed up, read my message, said, here are 3 easy prompt responses, send one. And then you're like, sounds good. Okay, cool. The fuck? No. And figure it out. Yes, let's go for coffee. We'll figure it out. No, but look, the thing about texting and what we wanted to really just shine a light on is the fact that when you're sending a communication to somebody, um, sometimes texting feels void of emotion. It feels void of
because it's just words.
feeling in it, and it's words. Well, I wanted to say words eloquently placed have meaning. People can read them, and when you convey clarity in your message with your words, there's nothing that's lost in translation. But I think a lot of the times,
Oh, people can still mistranslate it. They can think you mean something else. They might think you're being sarcastic. They could think that you're telling a joke. Like people still, sometimes you can be as clear as day, but people don't always
yeah.
pick
So,
up on that.
and that's the thing, though. The thing about texting, it's created again this invisible barrier of how we can read and interpret what somebody's really trying to tell us. That's why in the dating world it can be so confusing. It's why in the dating world it's hard. Look, I'm going to tell you, all the dating apps know this. They know this. So you know what? If you want to go to the next level and you want to communicate them and you want to video chat and you want to really like connect with somebody face to face, it's an upcharge because they know. They know. Look, texting can only take you so far. You can only go so far with sending words like that to somebody.
Yeah, that's why I told him when I first started talking to him, and I was like, okay, this next Saturday, it's a week. Well, we had been talking. I said I want to do a FaceTime with you, because I needed to be able to communicate, see his face, look at body language, all of that, and I needed to see it like before we met in person. I thought it would be very helpful.
It was. It was. And like I said, I wanted to, when I was dating early on, I would want to do a video chat with people. I would want to do video chats with women. A lot of them were like, "No. Um I don't want to, I'm not ready or I'm not made up or I'm not this or I'm not that." And I would text them back. I don't care. Like I just want to I want to visually connect, put a face to the expression, to the words, to the person, so I could have a little bit more clarity when we talk, when I see you, or and that's hard because again, I've done interviews. I've done tons of interviews, and part of picking up on whether or not somebody's really interested in the communication is reading their body language and how they look at you, how they, if their eyes are focused on the camera, if they're engaged in what you're saying, if it looks like they're listening, you feel a little bit better about what you're saying. You feel a little bit better about what's being shared between the two of you. Where when that's not there, you know, they could be, painting their toenails. They could be doing 5 things at one time, and you just hear, uh-huh, 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 okay, uh-huh. Like I had somebody that I was friends with, and that's how they would communicate. And you would just hear, mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Yeah, I
could you
video chatted with a guy, and he would make this weird noise, and he's like, "Mhm." I mean, he'd make this, like, little click noise and be like, "Mhm." Like, it was
look,
way too weird.
look, there's nothing wrong with
The video chat, like, really helped eliminate
it. It
people.
did. I mean, look, face it like this. Put it like this. When it was total 100% necessity to have a video chat, because when we were going through COVID, a lot of us had to video conference. We had to remotely work. We had to turn on our cameras. Um, oh, Dan. Hey,
Yeah,
Dan.
I was letting him read
Read
lips.
read the lips. Okay. So, but you had to turn on the camera. You had to communicate. It was a necessity for your job. Wouldn't you take the same approach when you're meeting somebody, and whether or not that person could be the spark, the individual that could change the trajectory of the rest of your life? Wouldn't you want it that way? I mean, to me, it's I know it's probably your own. It could be your own insecurities. Even if you're an introvert, even if you're an introvert, I've had tons
Do
of.
you think it was easier to date before texting?
Was it? I don't. No, no, no. I think it was.
Easier to date before texting?
Yeah, I think it was. Because I think the only way you were going to meet people, the only way you were going to meet somebody of the opposite sex is you had to go confront it face to face. You had to do it in a bar, you had to do it at a concert, you had to do it somewhere, but you had to do it face to face. And if you wanted to continue the conversation,
I don't
you
know. I felt it was like I think in some ways easier after texting was around because you could meet people that you wouldn't normally come across. So before, like, it was hard for me to meet people because I would work and I would go home or went to school, and I just didn't have time to carry a conversation with anyone. And so I think the dating apps really and just being able to communicate through text helped.
well,
And
yes and no. I have a two-pronged approach to this. Yes and no. Yes, because it opened the world up to
mhm.
options that you didn't have prior. Like, that's true. But again, it still breaks down to the main point of everything, that you still have to go to the face to face to meet somebody. You still have to do this. A text wall, or whatever you want to call it, the photos that you put behind, all that stuff. There's a reason people hate getting catfished, because you can hide behind all of that.
There are a
You
lot of
can be
catfish
you can be lied to, right? You could be
that
you
come for your money too.
exactly. They
There
could
was there was one guy I knew he was from somewhere. Probably it could have been Africa. I don't know. But I asked him. I was like, "Are you from?" And I think I said Nigeria. I just made up a country, in Africa. And after that, like he blocked me. So I don't know if I got the country right, but he was definitely not from America.
America. Well, I like what um, Gisette was saying. I think I'm just going to go for adopting some feral cats instead. She says I have a video call with my therapist weekly. Good enough. Um, did you know that I put a flag in front of my house at half mast the day Yvette decided to marry Gabe? I was mourning for her. Oh, that's okay. I'm making her slowly understand that that saying yes was her blessing every day.
He does.
I do.
We should probably wrap up because it's
Oh, yeah.
9/11
9/11.
and we have plans. We're
yeah.
gonna go somewhere
Sorry.
downtown.
Yeah, we're leaving.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna do something. And then tomorrow we're gonna do our love talk.
Now, yeah, with love talk, we can elaborate a little bit more. No kids, we can go a little bit.
Yeah, we have
longer.
no kids this weekend.
No kids
so.
this weekend. So, all right. I guess other than that, folks, it's been a great one. I do appreciate everyone who's been here. You guys
Thank you
are the
for
best.
stopping by.
Always amazing. I
and
love
saying
this community.
hi.
All the people that showed up here tonight and stayed with us, all the old fogies that had to go to bed early. I do appreciate you too. You guys are just as much part of it as everyone else who shows up here. And yes, I love you too, Dan.
Hold on.
could feel
Somebody
it.
said, "Are you grateful for face text? Wait, face text. Thankful for advancement." Oh yeah,
Of
I
course.
am.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm happy for it.
absolutely.
Again, I'm doing it here now with you guys. You guys, if you haven't seen anything, I've shared my life with you through a video camera, through a live stream. Every time that I have it, I've had these conversations. I'm just being honest and truthful and genuine to who I am. You guys know who I am. So I take the same approach with an audience that I would with somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. I try to be honest and truthful as I possibly can. So other than that, I guess it's time to go have some fun. And for Josette, go find some feral cats and have some fun. Mike, make songs.
We
about
love you too.
Mike, make songs about feral cats. That's the theme for the night. Other than that, we love you all, guys. Anything else you want to say, my love?
I love you.
I love you too. All right. We will be here tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel, and we will reveal our next episode for our 8-week long series. So till then, everybody have a good night. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.